Mattress fire in barrel as requested. Let's get to work.
Well, judging by the title of this video and the theme so far, I'm sure you've no doubt already guessed that this is going to be a review on the new land mattress commander for Company of Heroes 2 and the British forces, or sorry, farces. By the time this video gets out, the free trial commanders for everybody will have ended. I have not bought this commander, and honestly, when it first came out, or I first heard about it, I looked at it and I was like, okay, cool, they'll look at the land mattress, but you know, that was about where I'd ended. I was like, whatever. I really didn't think it'd be all that good. And initially, I was going to say that the commander kind of sucks and isn't worth it. But I can totally see this thing getting nerfed in the near future. Oh my god, this freaking land mattress is freaking insane. It's basically the British version of the Nebelwerfer from Company of Heroes 1, with one difference. This thing isn't much more expensive than the Nebelwerfer. It's like 40 fuel and 350 manpower. But one of these things is equal to 5 or 6 of the old Nebelwerfers. One of these things has 30 rockets, and it fires all of them. It's freaking ludicrous. And that opening clip that you guys saw there, that was a game that was taken after this. And I absolutely destroyed these guys with just 2 of these things. And one of them died. One of them freaking died, and I still did all that. I shut down the entire Soviet army with a massive barrage of frickin' Nebel, or not, so you got me saying it already. Good job, Relic, of land mattress. You know, I know what the land mattress is. I've played Men of War and I've studied World War II history, but this thing is just freaking silly. I mean, it's loony. Why does it do so much damage? Why is its barrage area so massive? I mean, yeah, it's a rocket artillery system, but one of these things can cover an entire base. Unless it's a heavy tank, it's dead. The Calliope doesn't even do that. The freaking poor Katusha only gets a couple rockets. It gets like half the rockets. Oh man. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is recorded inside of a mod that I made. This is before I updated the mod for the new commanders, and the new commander itself and the land mattress and everything have not been changed. They are the default stuff that you'll find in vanilla. I haven't touched that. I haven't, like I said, I hadn't even edited them yet, or brought the mod up to date with the new changes. But yeah, like, it's just, I literally no words. Just mind blown. Cannot figure this out. The other commander that came out was the Advanced Fortifications Doctrine, and honestly, I'm getting real sick of Company of DLC 2's bullshit and Sega and the microtransactions and mini commanders everywhere, especially shit for shit that should be there by default. You know, we shouldn't have to pay for all these commanders and everything. So, by the time you see this, the mod that I made, this one here, the Company of Heroes 2 Actually Balanced mod, will be updated, and it will have the new Advanced Fortification Commander built into the default British faction, with a couple changes. You know, you're not going to get counter battery at 4 command points. It'll probably unlock at like 8 or 10 or something, because it's really powerful. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that. And the Persian Commander, I mean, I don't know if that should have really been something that we should have had to pay for. I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, I'm glad we have a frickin' Pershing tank. America needs it. America needs a heavy tank badly, but most of the other factions get heavy tanks either by default or they've had them forever. And they have really, really good tanks, like 30-45s or Panthers and stuff like that. So, I wish less stuff would go into DLC and more stuff would go into finishing the factions. I mean, America, they don't get snipers, they don't get mortars, they don't get a decent car, they don't get a decent medium car, they get that craptacular M20. That M20 should be in the Recon Commander. The M8 Greyhound should be there by default. And don't even get me started on that M15. It's like, yeah, it's got a 37 on it, and Twin 50 is great, whatever. I would still rather have an M16 like the first game had, with, you know, suppression and anti-infantry and fire on the move ability. I don't want to have to, like, drive backwards at bad guys. That's really weird. Other than that, I mean, this is all stuff that I've fixed in this mod, but you won't see that right now. But yeah, but back to the land mattress, though, and this game. I use it in here, but it's towards the end. And by then, it was more of just like a finishing thing. In an actual game like this, you know, you may look at the thing and know how powerful it is and think, oh god, that's super cheap. Why is it so cheap? And I can have as many of these things as I want, and that's just crazy. Well, in an actual game, the British are kind of manpower starved, so that 350 might as well be 1,000. You know, it's really hard to get that manpower up in order to call one of these things in. It's a pretty sizable investment, and you've got to keep it protected because anything can decrew it. And even worse, if the enemy gets a hold of it, you're gonna have a very bad day. The British are very defensive focused, very dig in, you know, happy. They like to dig in and stuff like that. And when you start giving the enemy siege weaponry, like artillery and stuff, to break your defenses, you've pretty much just handed them everything they need to win. So yeah, you do not want to let those things fall into the enemy hands. God, trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about for another 10 minutes. It's actually kind of challenging to think up of shit to ramble on about. I really don't know what else to talk about. I've already pretty much said everything. There is a link on my channel here to get the mod if you don't already have it and you want to play it. It does a lot of things to balance a bunch of the factions. It changes the units a little bit, but for the most part the units play like default. The way it balances factions is it doesn't, you know, tweak units and make their stats crazy. What it, for the most part, does is fills out the armies and finishes them. Like I said, America, instead of having just rifles, they get a 76 Sherman. They get a sniper. They get a 50 cal Jeep by default. They get an M16 AA half-track. They get mortars. They get a decent car. Now that doesn't mean that, you know, because these things were in Commanders, doesn't mean the Commander stuff has been removed. No, it's been swapped. The Commander that had the 50 cal Jeep for America now has the M15 AA half-track for 2 command points and the appropriate amount of resources. The one that had the Greyhound for 3 command points now gets the M20 recon car for the appropriate amount of, you know, resources and 2 command points instead. I also changed for America. They now have all of the support weapons and stuff underneath the lieutenant. So, you know, your pack howitzer, your mortars, your AT gun, your HMG, all the other stuff. That's all underneath the lieutenant. And all of the mechanized units, like your half-tracks and your Stuart Light Tank and your Greyhound and everything, that's underneath the captain. That makes a lot more sense and is a lot easier for America to play. Another thing is America's infantry, the upkeep on them was way too low. I mean, they're good, but they're not, you know, great. And America honestly shouldn't be spamming infantry like the fucking Russians. That's not what American infantry was, and they had more than that to win the fucking War Relic, you know? They didn't just throw bazookas and guys at them non-stop. So I tweaked that and made them a little bit more expensive, so you're not going to get hit with spammy amounts of infantry every 2 seconds from America, and it's a lot easier to play. Other factions, like I said, have been upgraded. They've been filled out. You've got basic field defenses for everybody by default. You know, you can build your machine gun positions, your tank traps, barbed wire, sandbags, etc. Oh, and trenches for everybody too. But trenches unlock at 3 command points, for everybody. So once you get 3 command points, you can use them. The reason it's set to 3 command points and not instant is because I don't want people rushing up into people's bases or at the edges of people's bases and building trenches and then MG locking them in there. That's a huge problem in Company of Heroes 1 with the British, and people did it all the time. So I didn't want to repeat of that. I changed the way some things work. You know, if it has a 75 for the British, like the car or the Churchill and stuff like that, it's going to have the same pen and damage as the 75 on the Cromwell, because that's what they're literally the same gun and ammo and everything. So why would they be different? The Katusha for the Russians has been tweaked. It no longer fires 4 shots and then pauses and then fires another 4 and then pauses, rinse and repeat 4 sets of 4 until you fire all of your missiles. Now it fires the top 8, pauses, fires the bottom 8, done. And it's got like a half-second stagger in between the rocket launches, so it looks pretty close to how it looked like in old video footage of the thing firing. Honestly, you're gonna have to look at the patch notes if you're really interested. There's so many things that were changed. It's very subtle. Oh, the German Grenadiers now have a Panzerbeschütz 39 anti-tank rifle, so they can help counter light armor early on. The Panzer Grenadiers have had their STG-44s taken away from them. You know, Panzer Grenadiers are not elite units. They're just fucking mechanized infantry. That's all they are. So why do they have STG-44s like they're SS or something like that? They're not. Those were taken away. They were given, I believe it was G-43s instead by default. Now, when you take the commander that allows your Grenadiers and used to allow your Panzer Grenadiers to upgrade to G-43s, you can still upgrade your Grenadiers with G-43s, but now for your Panzer Grenadiers, it allows you to pick stuff like the STG-44. And yeah, I realize I'm getting off topic here, but I don't know what else to talk about for the land mattress here. You're gonna get to see it coming out soon. In fact, I think I just called it in, so you'll get to see it used a little bit here and there. But this guy has been pretty much boxed into his base early on, and he's probably gonna quit soon. Yeah, there's that. Oh, right. Did I just throw? I can't tell. Did I throw an artillery flare in there? Oh, I can't really see. Yes, I did. Oh no, that's the land mattress. There it is. I think I threw an artillery flare at that stuff there through the fog of war. Good times. But yeah, I mean, I'd quit too, honestly. If I'm locked into a base like this and can't do anything, he's putting his AT guns in trenches. That's another thing you can do in this mod. Also, I fixed a bug with the Bofors. The Bofors fired. You know, it's got the normal boom, 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 but if you actually look at it and look at the bullets coming out of it, and this is a relic bug, by the way. There's the artillery flare. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, if you actually look at the bullets coming out of it, it's firing faster than a fucking MG42. It's absolutely insane, and I can't believe Relic is so stupid to like not notice that. So that's why it was shredding the shit out of infantry. I tweaked the damage a little bit to make up for the rate of fire cut, but yeah, now it actually functions like an actual Bofors. Oh, another thing I did. Oh, there he is. He's quitting. Poor guy. Well, I'm still here. The only other thing I did was that I can remember was tweak the Sherman Calliope commander for the Americans. It now has a toggle where you can choose to use the main gun, which has AP rounds only, doesn't get HE, and has a rocket artillery mode where it can use its rockets. But that's pretty much it. Wow, I guess I did find a bunch of filler to throw in there to keep talking through the duration of the video. Lucky me. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stick around, there may or may not be a bonus clip. That's for you to find out and me to know. There's not really gonna be one.
Rocket bombardment launching. Glad it's flying away from me.